Welcome back for another video. Double Gameweek 24 up next, the first double of the season, lots to discuss. In this one we're going to talk about some of the takeaways from the weekend's games and my transfer plans for the double game week. Let's get into it. Bournemouth 5, Forest 0. I'm not sure if Areola's been reloading his Football Manager saves until he gets results, but they're on a truly unbelievable run right now. 5-0 home win to Forest, one of the best defences this season, Forest. Bournemouth haven't lost a game in the league since Gameweek 12 back in November. Kluivert with a goal and an assist, another haul for him. Semenyo with a late goal, and 5 mil Uatara bagging a hat-trick as well. And they've got incredible fixtures from Gameweek 25 as well. These three are all 5.7 mil and under as well. But who are the best three to buy if you had to pick one? I think if I was going to rank them in order, it'd be Kluivert number 1, Uatara number 2, and then Semenyo number 3 in that order, but they're all great. The points really can come from anywhere though, given how well they're playing right now. 10 returns for 5 mil is amazing output for Uatara. And then obviously the defence is good as well. It's no fluke that Bournemouth are where they are in the table. 45.01 expected goals this season places them 3rd best. 29.2 expected goals conceded ranks 7th best in the league. So Howson looks like an awesome cheap route into that defence for 4.4 mil. Kerkez will probably prove to be worth the extra 0.5 mil if you can afford him. No rush to buy into the defence this game week of course, because they've got Liverpool, but certainly Gameweek 25 onwards. Brighton 0, Everton 1. Not quite as exciting as the Bournemouth game, but let's talk about Everton in particular, given they've got the double game week next. So Calvert-Lewin made it to 12 minutes before going off injured. He could be out for the double game week unfortunately. However, later in the game, Everton won a penalty, which Ndiaye took, and he slotted it bottom left, so he finished on 8 points. He is certainly an option for the double. He's only 5.4 mil. Maybe some new manager bounce right now. He's on pens. And to be fair, Leicester home is their first of the 2 games. And he's cheap enough to bench him after the double as well. Only 5 goals this season, which is pretty bad output, but he does have 2 in his last 2. I'm not as sold on the Everton defence myself, but I think it's down to preference there. Particularly Pickford though, if you're looking to sell someone like Raya for him. Like, I wouldn't be at all surprised if long term Raya still outscores Pickford, despite one fewer fixture. Are any of you considering Everton assets for the double? Let us know in the comments which ones. As far as the defenders, I think they're all pretty similar, but Mikalenko's 4.4 mil, so I guess he makes sense for cheaper. If you've got the room for him and you're able to bench him after, then why not? By the way, Moyes dropped a 19-pointer, beating a team 5 places above, keeping a clean sheet and a couple of points for the goal. 19 points, 1 game. It's a huge reminder just how powerful the assistant manager chip is when it goes right anyway. Are any of you planning to use yours in Gameweek 24? Next game week's obviously the first week that we can actually use it, so no one would have got those 19 points last match. What about Liverpool then? 4-1 win over Ipswich, and it was the Gakpo show. Well played if you transferred him in. Who remembers last week's experts video? We were just talking about how laser focused the data is, and it was a good week for them to be fair, with Gakpo the most transferred in player for the experts. So make sure you are subscribed for the future experts videos. Salah bagged his 19th goal of the season, and he's on 13 assists as well, so that's 32 goal contributions in 22 games played. 1.45 returns per game is absolutely outrageous. Trent was on for a pretty big return, having got an assist early in the match, one of Gakpo's goals, but Greaves wiped the Liverpool clean sheet in the 90th minute off a corner. 67 minutes for Szoboszlai, and he managed a goal and an assist for a haul. So Gakpo and Luis Diaz have both got 8 goals, 3 assists this season. Szoboszlai's got 3 goals, 6 assists. So the logic says don't go there. But he does have a rare haul in him, such as that 13-pointer, and also 17 and 10-pointers. So how do we rank the Liverpool players for the double game week then? I would go Salah of course, then Trent, then Gakpo, Van Dijk, Luis Diaz, Alisson and Konate. And then I guess the likes of Szoboszlai and so on, but I'm not tempted myself. But just on Konate, there was a quote from Slot which got misreported. Basically, it was reported that he said Konate is unable to play 3 times a week. And I went back and actually rewatched the press conference bit. And he was talking about how previously he couldn't have done that, as there is a certain risk that comes when you play someone that much just coming back from injury. But then it did finish by saying, quote, I think he now comes to a moment where he could play 3 times a week. So he is an option for the double game week, and he's only 5.1 mil. What's everyone's Liverpool double or triple up looking like for the double game week? Or any of you using the assistant manager chip? So Moyes got 19 points for that win over Brighton. Liverpool's win over Ipswich was worth 10 points for Slot. Man City 3, Chelsea 1. Horror start to Kuzanov's City career. He came straight into the starting 11, just a few minutes into the game, a weak header back to Ederson, which Jackson intercepted and put Madueke through for an open goal. And then he got booking like a minute later for a late challenge. City dug in there and he did turn it around. Goals from Vardy, and then Haaland, then Foden. Ederson actually credited with the assist for the Haaland goal. That's 5 assists in the Premier League for Ederson. It's the joint most by a goalkeeper in the competition's history, along with Paul Robinson. Haaland also assisted Foden's late goal for a 12-pointer. So I mentioned the Bournemouth trio's form over the last 6. Well, as far as FPL points, no one's got more than Foden's 57 over the last 6. Blanking just once in the last 6 as well, 6 goals, 2 assists over that run. Will he keep delivering though, despite a tough fixture run? That's the question. Marmoush was also straight into the starting 11 for his City debut. He looks a massive talent, real live wire player, great movement. Only Salah has actually got more goal contributions in Europe's top 5 leagues this season, and I have no doubt he's going to do very well at City. Well in, Isak captain as though, brace from him, so he outscored Salah by 5 points I think it was, who was the most popular Gameweek captain. Not a huge difference, but it does all add up. That was Isak's 48th Premier League goal, the joint most of any Swedish player in Premier League history, along with Freddie Ljungberg back in the Arsenal days. So Gordon came away with an assist, and there was a moment that he made a brilliant run, and had Isak spotted him he would have been 3-1-1. I'm still wondering about selling Gordon, it could come back to bite me. Like, he's blanked once in his last 10 starts. I think the only player that I consider better than him that I don't own is Mbeumo. So Newcastle have got Fulham, City, Forest and Liverpool. Meanwhile Brentford have got Spurs, West Ham, Leicester and Everton. I think holding on to Hall's a bit easier if you've got him, he's much cheaper as well. It's just Gameweek 25 and 27 against City and Liverpool in particular, both away games that you really wouldn't want to start him in. After the next 4, Newcastle's fixtures do look great again, though they are likely to blank in Gameweek 25, which is something to consider as well. Saliba, the most transferred out player last game week, and of course he started and took maximum bonus points with a clean sheet. On the final thoughts video we did touch on Arteta's comments where he basically said he'll definitely be back by next week, but he hadn't been ruled out of Gameweek 23 either. It's a dramatic game though, controversial red card shown by Michael Oliver on a challenge by Lewis Skelly on Doherty, which reduced them to 10 men. Only Wayne Rooney and Michael Owen have been sent off before at a younger age. Arsenal saved by Gomez though, who went on to get a second yellow later to bring it back to 10v10, and Calafiori scoring a late winner off the bench. City home next for Arsenal, which isn't great, though they do have Leicester and West Ham after that. I expect many are going to be looking to swap Raya and the Arsenal defenders out for Alisson and Trent though, which is fair enough before a double game week. 9 points for Arteta for that game. By the way, you can actually view the ownership of managers in the game now, which in essence is obviously the ownership among those that have actually got the chip active. We don't know how many are actually going to have it activated for next game week, but right now 51% have got it active on slot, 21.8% are Moyes, and then Areola, Emery, Pep and Amorim. Alright, so let's have a look at the team for Gameweek 24, the double game week and my transfer plans. So the team this week, before any transfers made, is Raya, Trent, Colwill, Gabriel, Salah, Bruno, Gordon, Palmer, Strand Larsen, Wood and Isak. On the bench, Fabianski, Semenyo, Munoz and Greaves. My defenders are tough to separate this week. I've got Colwill home to West Ham, I've got Gabriel home to Man City, Munoz away at Man United, and then Greaves home to Southampton. They're all sound players to start. Which two would you start? So I've got 3 free transfers and I might need to make a move tonight. Let's make the table a bit bigger here to fit it in. So the current plan is Raya to Alisson, Gordon to Mbeumo and Strand Larsen to Ndiaye. This gets me 4 players of a double game week, which I'm happy enough with. Strand Larsen went off injured last match as well, plus Ndiaye will be on pens if Calvert-Lewin misses the double, which adds to his appeal a little bit. The problem is that I've got exact money for all 3 moves, and Ndiaye looks like he might rise tonight, so I'll have to decide really quickly. Now obviously Gakpo's just got 16 pointers, so what am I talking about? Obviously I could sell Wood for Gakpo and then go Gordon to someone like Kluivert for example. Now do I really want double Bournemouth, and do I want to have to play one against Liverpool as well? Annoyingly I'm 0.1 mil off affording Strand Larsen to Gakpo and Gordon to Kluivert, but again same problem with the double Bournemouth. I'm also 0.1 mil off Bruno to Mbeumo and Wood to Gakpo. I'm not sure spending a third move on something like Colwill to Mykolenko to fund it is the solution, just to force Gakpo in. It could be a big mistake, but right now, Ndiaye, Mbeumo and Alisson makes more sense in my team setup. The other option I've actually considered is Wood to Ndiaye, Gordon to Mbeumo and Colwill to Konate. This lets me keep Raya, which I do like. I'm quite reluctant to let him go, given how good the Arsenal defence has been overall. And as a reminder, Liverpool are very likely to blank in Gameweek 29. So if I buy Alisson, I'm counting on Fabianski keeping the number 1 spot, otherwise I'm keeperless, and I'll have to make a transfer in goal again. Arsenal, on the other hand, very unlikely to blank in Gameweek 29, unless they overcome the 2-0 defeat from the first leg in the League Cup against Newcastle. It's very close, but I think I like the Alisson path a bit more, and it does let me keep Wood for Brighton home, and instead it fixes Strand Larsen in the team as well. After that, Wood could go to Wissa in a week or two potentially. Alisson, beyond doubt, plays both games in the double as well, whereas with Konate there's a very slight doubt, though I expect him to play both in honesty. So that's the team and transfer plans. Hit subscribe for lots of double game week content to come before next weekend. Thanks for watching as always. See you soon for the next one.